This is the sprocket that goes into the frame, and it gets bushings in it, like this, bronze bushings. So they slide in like that, and then I'm going to put this spacer one on the other side and drop it on the floor. There. Now we have bronze bushings all the way through. Yeah. What do you think of them apples? And of course, there's still a clip that goes in there. Then this goes on here. Let me see, this is what used to go on here, put it that way. Yeah, I'm going to have to notch this out a little bit more here, and probably a little bit more on the back side. That keeps your pant leg out of the chain. You know what I mean? Yeah, that'll work. I'd have to put a lock washer under here. Well, that should go down in all the way. That goes on there, so I'm going to need to find me another. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to have to find another cover similar to that to go down there, because originally we had this unit here, and you will recall that when I was putting it up on the lift, it got caught on the lift and it bent this here. So I don't want it hanging down below the frame, and yeah, so we're going to find something more like that that'll cover at least the sprocket. We don't have to have it cover the whole mess there, but it would be nice to have it at least cover over the sprocket. Actually, because your feet go down here, and your pant leg isn't going to get caught down in here in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other thing I'm going to have to do is, originally I had this set up here, which bolted onto the side of the transmission, and there's not enough room to get that in there anymore, I don't believe. And even with that sprocket adjusted all the way back, so maybe what I'll have to do is, boy, this thing's covered with grease, and it got bent the last time I used it because it got kicked. But maybe I'll have to make a mount down in here. You can't go behind there because there's not enough clearance. Well, we'll see. But we probably need to have some kind of a idler down in here just to take up the slack. And yep. So we'll see how that goes. So we're 2 steps closer. We have this one on, and it's bolted tight and it has all the bushings in it. And this one here that's underneath there will have to come back off again, because I still got to paint the transmission yet. And as you can see, the transmission is not bolted tight in place. It's just sitting on there for testing purposes only. Well, there we are. There's the one on the left is for the transmission, and the one on the right is for the right angle drive. And we'll let them dry And I could put the right angle drive one on anytime soon, but I need to get on the stick and get this transmission painted so I can mount it up solid. We'd be that much closer. Well, what do you think about that cover? It doesn't go back in here as far as I'd like it to go, but I'll keep my eye open. Ouch. That one, and that one, and then we got to go to the other side of the axle and do the same thing again. And the last one we got to do is this one here, and hopefully the axle will slide out now. I don't think there's anything else holding it. Yeah. Well, I'll keep working at it and I'll bring you back when I get him off. You guys grab that sprocket right there? Where do you go now? There's one sprocket, there's one sleeve. These have metal sleeves inside of them, and then these just slide over them for the chrome effect. They need to be cleaned, obviously. Same thing there, it has a sleeve on it. Well, it's not unusual. I thought maybe they would adapt, but they don't. The holes don't line up. They are off quite a bit. So I'm going to have to see about getting another hub to go with my disc. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so I have my brake assembly disconnected from the front. The pedal rod is still here, and I may end up using part of that because I still need to actuate my master cylinder, which is going to be mounted somewhere right up in here, and actually it may work out just exactly right for the length of that rod. And I'll have to put my carrier, let's see, what did I do with it? Well, I have a carrier that was on back in here for the rod. Well, here it is, it's right on the rod here. See this carrier? And all that is a piece that you use for threading your wire through for an antenna going up on the roof, don't you know? So what I'm thinking is I will mount that back in here just ahead of this rod, and most of my flex was in this last section. So if I do that, and then I can mount my master cylinder back in here like this. Where do my hose is going to be the major issue. But I guess that would work. Yeah, if I mounted that out there and then had my master cylinder mounted back in here like that, Yep, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to have to make a bracket, because the bracket that comes with this caliper obviously won't line up with my bolt holes, but we can use it and adapt it to make everything work together. So I need to get a hub before I do anything, and that may be a little bit of a clinker, because the way we have this all set up right now, my wheels actually come right in against this self-aligning hub here, this bearing, carrier bearing. So I guess I'll have to make something that will go right in against here and not take up too much space. I suppose I could actually even take this hub and modify it and put it on the inside of this axle carrier. So we'll see. That's the project we're working on, along with the other stuff. I just put a second coat on my sprockets that go on the bottom of the transmission and the bottom of the right angle drive. So those will be ready to put on in a couple of days, and if I'm thinking about maybe cleaning up that transmission real quick and throwing a coat of paint on it, so it'll be ready when I get a chance to come back, and we can get the drivetrain at least to that part and up inside the frame done back to here. Won't be able to hook it up back here obviously without an axle on there. So we're making progress, and sometimes it seems like one step forward and two steps back, but that's part of the fun of it, you know, is making it all work. So till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and I appreciate every one of those thumbs up that you give me. Bye for now, and remember, this is the Goofy Cart 2. Yeehaw! Bye now.